This segment is sponsored by Brad Friedman of Reverse Mortgage Pro.
Reverse Mortgage Pro offers exceptional care and services to their clients and are willing to find solutions that best fit you. Joining us this morning is our friend Brad Friedman of Reverse Mortgage Pro. Good to see you again, my friend. And you and I have talked over the years about this. I know this is very important to you. You frequently say use your home to stay at home. What exactly does that mean?
Well, thank you. That's one of the catchphrases that HUD uses for the reverse mortgage program, and I like it a lot. Use your home to stay at home. For most of our senior community, the equity that they've built up in their home is their biggest asset, and to be able to use that asset so that they can stay in their homes is so important to us. For most of us, the ability to stay at home for as long as physically and financially possible is the key and one of the goals that we have. So to use that equity, use the reverse mortgage to use the equity to be able to stay at home. Use the home to stay at home.
Okay, but it's a big idea and it's an important idea, but just like anything else, folks can get the wrong idea. What are some of the misconceptions that you find seniors have about the reverse mortgage?
So the reverse mortgage is is a program that has been very misconceived over the years. A lot of people think that you're signing the house over to the government or you're giving the house over to the bank, and that is not the case. The reverse mortgage is just a loan. HUD doesn't want your house. The bank doesn't want the house. They want to make a loan, and they will get repaid on that loan, just not by the senior. Someday the house will take care of paying off the loan. So you can borrow money out of the equity of the home and not have to make a monthly payment. That's fantastic. The other big misconception for seniors is they think the reverse mortgage is not going to allow any inheritance to be left behind to their heirs. And that is not the case. With the reverse mortgage, the house will still go to the heirs, and then we'll talk about what they need to do in order to take care of receiving that inheritance and what to do with it after that time comes.
So there are some benefits, obviously a lot of benefits for this, and let's talk about the seniors need to be careful and protected because obviously you are there and you come, when I say there, you're there in their living room or at the kitchen table to explain it all.
Absolutely. Sitting down at the kitchen table is so important to us. The ability to talk face to face with the seniors who are interested in the reverse mortgage program is excellent. I try not to do a whole lot of business over the phone. I'm getting older. It's hard to hear anymore. And we can't effectively communicate whether the reverse mortgage is an appropriate financial product for a senior trying to do things by email or over the phone. I want to sit down and talk face to face. That's the first of the protections for the seniors. The second is HUD's involvement throughout this process. HUD's watching over this program to make sure that it's done right. And thirdly, not doing it over the phone allows us to make sure that this is appropriate, that it's the right thing to do. There's a lot of financial products out there that are being sold to seniors on a daily basis that are inappropriate. We're going to sit down and take our time and make sure that this is right before anybody does anything.
I know you used to do this the thing called the Elder and Wiser magazine.
Yes.
Is that still available? Are you still doing that?
Absolutely. If you call into the office, we'll send a copy of our magazine. It's called Elder and Wiser. It's a fantastic magazine. Talks about senior issues, about the reverse mortgage, about the positives and the negatives. One of the keys to making good financial decisions is education. Let's make sure that we all understand what things are about, the positives, the negatives, the misconceptions, and the truths before anybody makes any decisions about doing any financial product.
You said everybody understands. What if you've got an adult child or adult family member that says, Mom or Dad, I don't know about this reverse. Are they welcome to be there when you're explaining it?
I am thrilled to have I call them the children, but generally the adult children of the seniors that we're talking with involved in the conversation to understand that we're all on the same page, to talk about what happens not just now and how this might benefit the senior, but what it looks like in the future. To have the family involvement in the financial decisions, I think, is fantastic. We've done it over Zoom, we've done it by phone, but of course having everybody there in person to ask good questions and to make sure that all of the information is given is so important to me, and you can't do that over the phone.
Absolutely. Good seeing you.
Great to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Great information. For more info, give them a call at 804-977-1700 or visit the website reversemortgage.pro. And Virginia This Morning will return after a very quick break.